afternoon, South Africa, and a very warm welcome to you. My name is Jeannie D, and I don't even know why I said warm welcome, because it's the 1st of June, which makes it officially the first day of winter. There's not enough blankets of vitamin C in the world that'll make me happy about that. Now, today we're joined by seasoned actor David Rees, who is best known for his long-standing role in Egoli. And I used to love that show back in the day. He's recently joined the cast of 7de Laan, which is now officially my favorite soapie in the world, which recently introduced a whole new family to the show called the Welmans. Now, we're joined again by parenting expert, Sister Lilian, for some more baby tips. And we see what our resident chef, Clem Pedro, has been up to in Pretoria recently. And for Winner Home on Afternoon Express today, we draw inspiration on how to best utilize a small space from interior designer, darling Keelin Pincus. She's going to be on the show as well. And in the kitchen, we're cooking up something Italian.
Oh, indeed we are. Good afternoon, South Africa, and welcome to Afternoon Express. I'm Danilo Acquista. So in the kitchen today, I'm very excited to be cooking with Mbali from Woolies, because we're making something super Italian, and she's been trying so hard to make sure she pronounces the dish perfectly, because we're not only using one, not even two, not even three cheeses, we're using 4 cheeses today.
4 cheeses.
What are we making?
Right. We're going to be making penne quattro formaggi.
Penne con quattro formaggi. I want more passion next time we talk about it. Okay. Deal. She's on the show today, and you guys can cook along with us and get all the ingredients and the recipes from our website, afternoonexpress.co.za. It's a delicious website. You guys will drool every time you go and scroll through all the recipes we make right here on Afternoon Express. Let's kick off the show with Jeannie on the couch.
Thank you, Danilo. Now, David Rees has been acting professionally for more than 25 years and is best known for his role as the bad boy Nick Nordeer in Egoli. Now he'll be joining SABC2's 7de Laan as Chris Welman, the patriarch of a brand new family on the show. Welcome to the loft. I'm actually having a bit of a fan moment, because I've watched you on TV forever. I remember Egoli so well, and I think you were acting alongside Catriona Andrews.
Catriona Andrews, amongst others, yes.
Amongst others. Yeah, you had a lot of girlfriends back then.
I only actually had one girlfriend, Tiffany Kelly, Sunette. Nick was very faithful.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Now, take me through your years of acting. I mean, you've literally had such an amazing career on South African soap operas.
Yes, I've been very fortunate. I was 20 years old, started on American Ninja 4, you know, perfect for a 20-year-old. Guns and everything that a boy dreams of, you know, being in the movies.
Amazing.
And lots of fun, yes.
And then from movies to soap operas, was that a choice that you actively wanted to do?
Well, my agent introduced me to Frans Marx, who sent me to Tannie Miller at the Academie vir Drama Kuns, and he sort of had a plan, and I think a while before Egoli started, he had the story of this diamond diver, and basically prepared me for that, and I entered Egoli as Nick Nordeer.
Oh, such an amazing career you've had there. And now you've gone from Egoli to 7de Laan. Had you been a fan of the show before you joined?
Yeah, well, I mean, you can't not see 7de Laan. You know, it's been going 16 years now already. I actually arrived on set on the 4th of April this year, and it was on their 16th birthday.
Amazing.
And it's just really so exciting. You know, I feel like dancing on the tables, the part, and the energy and a wonderful production. But you know, family and just it's a patriarch, but there's all sorts of twists and it's just so much.
Yes, I want to know about your family. Okay,
yes.
So where does the family come from?
They originally from Hillside, and they left. I don't want to give too much away, and I think they left a whole lot of skeletons behind. And yes, and they come back from London, and those skeletons surface slowly but surely.
So they already know everybody in the neighborhood?
Not really. You know, I mean, my character's so obsessed with money and business.
Yeah.
And the well-being of his family. I don't think he really knows much past that. You know, I think his wife, played by Deirdre Volhitter, has got an eye on all the dynamics in terms of the people.
Yeah.
I think my character, Chris, is just money and power, and that's what it's all about.
Do you enjoy playing those bad boy roles? Is it a bit of a challenge, or is it maybe close to your own personality?
Yeah, well, I don't know why. Maybe typecasting. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I did some theatre last year, which was totally different, a bit of a metamorphosis.
Yeah.
And this part is quite a challenge. Playing one part for 18 years, you get mannerisms that I only realised when I walked onto the set. It's been a while since I've had that amount of adrenaline. I've just been watching you guys work here. It's you know,
Yeah.
it's
We
the
are
energy
quite
that now
hyperactive,
you guys. You got
But that's
some
quite
stuff going.
fascinating. Do you watch back on your tapes to see those little mannerisms? Because that's quite
No,
detailed.
I can feel it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, because you're focusing on getting the words right, getting the moves right, you know, all sorts. And as I said, I sort of thought, well, you know, I've got this, I've done this before, but there's something about the set on 7de Laan. I don't quite have my finger on it yet. You know, you really get adrenaline pumping in your neck, and then, but addicted to it, as I'm sure.
How intensive is it? I mean, how many hours of preparation do you do versus how many hours of shooting in a day?
Well, you know, we don't have a lot of time. We have the night before to learn lines. Some of our bosses are here, so I won't. We learn our lines very hard. We never sleep. We don't do anything else. We just focus on our work.
Ka-ching! I think you just got a raise and you've just joined the show.
No, you have a night to. You have the evening to you know, learn lines for the next day.
Amazing. And then you shoot full days.
Yes, depending on how busy you are and you know how many scenes you have. Sometimes you finish early, sometimes you finish later. But it's a full day. It is a long, hard, full day, yes.
Now let's go and have a look at your life offset. You do a lot of work for sandparks.
Well, you know, 2 years ago, I was approached and you know, just spoke to some of the guys there regarding, they've got what they call a wild star program. And I've been with, you know, I don't know if you ever heard of Shannon Elizabeth from American Pie, where, Los Angeles. Came here and we did Rhino dehorning. She's back now in South Africa again.
Was she an actress from American Pie?
Yes. She's back again.
The one with the...
Yes.
the whipped cream, we'll just call it.
Yes. And yeah, so it's you know, getting involved and raising awareness, and I'd like to focus on getting especially children and from certain communities to change the way they see things and to get more involved in.
Amazing. So where does your love for animals come from?
I think it's automatic. Doesn't everyone love animals?
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
Yeah. And there's lots of adventure. There's just a whole lot of machinery and stuff, and elephants, rhinos, and a lot of other animals that we don't hear a lot about. You know, the rhinos get a lot of attention. There's pangolins. You know, most people don't even know what a pangolin is.
Yeah.
They're on the brink. Meisner seahorse, Cape vultures.
Yeah.
So there's a lot, and I think that people need to be aware of it, and especially children. They are the next generation, so it's important.
You're also going to be very involved in the Special Olympics.
Yes, I actually just recently been asked to be involved, and I was at the launch of their national games. Okay. It was fascinating, and it's so inspiring. You know, you hear so much in the news and everything, and you wonder if human beings are actually that nice. But then you see something like that, and you realize, you know, the human spirit is quite beautiful. And, you know, people with Down syndrome and all sorts of things competing and working so hard to be to make the South African team and going and competing internationally, like in Los Angeles. And I'm actually excited to learn more about it, and it's exciting stuff.
Well, thank you so much for chatting to us. We're going to be chatting to your family a little bit later on the show.
You're going to love them.
Now, after the break, Danilo gets cooking in the kitchen, and he's making a dish that contains 4 different types of cheeses. Goodbye, winter diet. And if you're wondering why our resident chef, Clem Pedro, has been scarce lately, then make sure you stay right where you are.
A very warm welcome back to you right here on Afternoon Express. My name is Danilo, but I kind of messed that up. Mbali's with us in the kitchen today on Afternoon Express, and we're making the perfect winter dish. It's going to save all of those cravings that you've thought of throughout the winter season. It's going to warm your soul as much as it's going to warm your belly. We're making a penne con quattro formaggi, which basically just means 4 cheeses. So we're just going to throw cheese onto penne. How do we get started?
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to heat some olive oil up in the pot.
Okay.
Okay, get that nice and hot.
Oh, yes.
Okay, and then we're going to add oregano to it. And we're going to make it nice and crispy.
No, that's interesting. I've never seen that happen before. Why do you do that?
You want to release all the flavors. You don't want to put it last minute, and then you just get like a bit of the flavor. So by doing this, you're releasing all the flavors.
Ooh, and it also makes it very aromatic. Yum. Okay. I've never actually seen it done in the oil like that, so that's a skill that I've just learnt. I'm making mental notes.
Yeah. So then we're going to add the penne.
Cool. Which you've obviously pre-cooked before. Which has helped a lot. You can use pretty much any kind of, of the Italian pastas that I think are going to be able to soak up one of these sauces. So a penne is a nice one because it's what's called portionable, a lot easier. You can create the different styles of penne you can use, but it's really just the flavors we're speaking about today. So if you don't want to do it with penne, you want to use rigatoni, you're welcome to, yeah.
Okay, so what we've done...
So that's like me, don't worry.
Okay, so what we've done, we've reserved some of the water from cooking the pasta.
Okay.
Because we're going to make it nice and creamy.
Yummy.
So we're going to add a bit of the water now.
Ooh. So it's almost like having a pasta stock. So if you get chicken stock, you get
stock.
vegetable stock. We're making pasta stock here.
Okay, and then,
You must use big gesture. We make a big Italian
gesture.
food in the kitchen today. You must use big gesture.
So we add the water to the pasta.
You must swear at me if you go, nah, done like this.
Okay. So we're going to have liquid in there. Then we're going to start adding the formaggi to the pasta.
Formaggi. I like you. Which formaggi are we using first?
So we got the gorgonzola.
Beautiful. I like Mbali. She can stay.
Okay, so we're not going to be shy. We're just going to go for it.
Cool. We never shy on the show, clearly.
Yeah,
I think everyone's learned that. Yummy.
Then we're going to add mascarpone.
It's like a pony with a mask on it. It's a masked pony. You see if you want to learn how to pronounce. Okay. Mascarpone is also delicious because it's super creamy and it adds such a richness to all sorts of dishes. So.
And then we got some Parmigiano Reggiano.
Sì, Parmigiano Reggiano. What's the Reggiano?
Oh gosh.
You know, when you catch a chef off guard, it's the best thing in the world because I don't even know what Reggiano means. Parmigiano Reggiano. I don't even know.
Okay.
Oh, yummy. So that's 3 cheeses. What's our 4th?
The 4th cheese is the fior di latte, mozzarella, that we're going to add to the top.
A little bit later, I think, because that is the most phenomenal cheese. We've used it, I think, it's our thrice time using it on the show.
It is very
the most phenomenal thing. In Italy, when you buy your mozzarella di bufalo, it comes in a sort of salted water that you get. You literally serve it to you just like that with a little bit of olive oil and maybe a pinch of salt if you want to add it to it. Just eat it summer like that. It's so delicious. Yo.
Okay, then we're going to add fresh basil pesto.
Okay.
The whole tub, because we also like that.
Yeah. So I see you serving in a red dish so that you can get the white of the cheese, the green of the pesto, and the red of the dish, making Italian colors.
Yeah, we are, exactly.
You're doing so well, Mbali. I like it. Oh, and it's so simple to make.
Very simple, and it's tasty, it's rich, it's just wholesome.
Oh, delicious.
Okay, so we get all that juiciness. Okay, then we're going to decant this into the oven dish.
Yeah. Can we help you with that? Because I think these are quite heavy.
It is quite heavy.
There we go. So I'll hold it like this. You can do all the scooping. And do we bake this in the oven, or how does this work? Okay. So it's almost a pasta bake.
A pasta bake, exactly.
My nonna would be very upset with you. You must not put pasta in the oven. What are you talking?
Okay, so then, do you mind breaking up the mozzarella
Sure.
for me? And we're going to put it over. Then we're going to pop it into the oven.
Cool. And this is one of those ones, I also learned this previously. You always tear the mozzarella di bufalo. You never try and play around too much with cutting it with knives and stuff. That's never a good idea. So you want it, look how stringy it comes out when you just tear it like that. It's a delicious, delicious texture. It's the most yummy thing. Okay, so what happens next? This goes into the oven, and how hot for how long?
So we put it in the oven until the cheese melts and it's nice and browned, and then we pop it out, and then we're going to sprinkle some bacon over it.
Oh, that sounds so delicious. If you guys want to get this recipe and the shopping list, it's on our website, afternoonexpress.co.za. You can make everything we make on the show simply by visiting that website, taking one of the recipes each evening and cooking it with us right here on Afternoon Express. So you guys may have noticed that our resident chef, Keelan Pincus, he's also my kitchen buddy, he's been a little bit scarce in the last few weeks in the kitchen here. Well, Keelan has been a very busy man, and one of the places he went to go visit recently was Pretoria, where he caught up with a completely innovative and exciting young chef who is changing the dining game with a unique pop-up restaurant. Take a look.
Pop-up kitchens are a unique and exclusive dining experience, allowing the chef to showcase their latest creations. And I'm one of the lucky few here to sample Chef Yulu Ishii's latest mouth-watering dishes. Your name is Kanya Nzumgwana, but you're known as Yulu Ishi in the food industry.
Yes.
What's the motivation behind the name?
It was something where I was just sitting there and I just wanted a new nickname, and I gave myself one. I'm inspired by nature, music, movies, art. All of those things kind of help me create what I create.
People keep coming back for more. What's your winning strategy?
To keep it experimental and to communicate with the guests at all times and to inform everyone that this is a learning experience. Don't panic. Your palate is informed enough. So if you enjoy it, then it's good, you know.
Kanye and I are good friends, and we cook together, we laugh together, we play together. So it was natural that I'll be here.
Lately, I've been really heavily into exploring the food of our continent, and Egypt is one of my favorite places. There's so many influences. It's so informed by, you know, the Mediterranean and Middle Eastern flavors. And I just thought it would be like a really exciting sort of a flavor space to get into for myself and for the guests.
I'm actually a follower of Plus 27, and obviously when I heard about the Egyptian food experience, I was very enticed to come and try it out.
I found out from my brothers. They invited me and I was excited to come.
Our first course is an interactive course. We've got loaded hummus that's just full of rose petals and pomegranate, all sorts of different spices, some preserved citrus. We've thrown oranges, kumquats, limes in there, and they're going to be enjoying that with some of the homemade flatbreads and also some seed bread.
Egyptian is one of the culinary experiences that I haven't had on the continent. And it's great to have someone being so daring to go out there and venture into cuisines and into cultures that are different and that are new.
Course number 2 is a really delicious course. We've got marinated slivers of brinjal, which we've marinated in some balsamic vinegar and herbs. We've got a spicy bean pilaf, we've got some baba ganoush, and then we've got spicy bean puree, and that's our second course.
Went to another pop-up and I met Yulu, and obviously I was incredibly interested because she looks so interesting, and we had a chat, and when I saw they were having another one I had to come.
We've got beef and lamb koftas. They're going with a fresh minty salsa of tomatoes, herbs and avocado, and a honey, poppy seed and lemon yogurt.
I enjoyed the koftas, and I've never tasted it before, and it was very good.
Tonight, it's about Egypt. So expect a lot of tikka, a lot of baba ganoush, a lot of lamb. Personally, I can't wait for the moussaka, and I think I'm going to go to the kitchen to get a taste of that.
Course 4 is deconstructed moussaka, which we've done with a slow roasted leg of lamb, lentils, fresh tomatoes, and the vegetarian counterpart is stuffed tomato, which we've placed barley, fresh tomatoes, sun-dried tomatoes, aubergine, and all sorts of different types of spices, and pumpkin. Mbali is our dessert for this evening, which is layered pastry, lots of honey, lots of nuts, dates, and figs.
Being able to eat with friends, with people, is really special. And I think Kanye is a magician because she brings together people like that.
It was incredible, and it's so flavoursome. I mean, we're blown away. It was great.
What are some of the plans for the future?
Hopefully to develop a more permanent space with Off the Wall. There's so many other plans. We're really into our styling, we're into our music as well. So we do plan on doing more events in the future.
I'm really full right now, and I like a cup of coffee, like an espresso. I've really enjoyed myself.
Well, that really did look amazing. It looks like Clem had an amazing time, but we're looking forward to having him back in the kitchen. Still to come on Afternoon Express, we meet the Welmans.
Yeah. 7de Laan meets Afternoon Express loft later on the show. Plus, Sister Lilian is back in the loft with us today. And it's so funny because today marks my exact 1 year since the winner presenter search on 3. So I was the new baby in the Afternoon Express loft, and she's speaking about what happens when a new baby enters the home. That's all coming up right on Afternoon Express after the break. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Now, the new 7de Laan family, the Welmans, appear to be the perfect family. But behind closed doors, there is so much more to this bunch than meets the eye. Let's look at what we can expect from them.
Nie amptelik ontmoet nie. Chris Dame.
Hy het duidelik geen respek vir ander mense se tyd nie.
Dis my vrou.
Maria, ek is gewoonlik so goed met name. Veral as iemand 'n indruk gemaak het.
Ek wonder sommer net oor Kita. Presies wie is sy?
Tannie Mariaan, ek glo dit nie.
Dis Alexa. Sy kom kuier.
Jy's 'n vrou. Laas toe ek jou gesien het ek jou gebabysit. Vertel hulle, hoe gouer hoe beter.
Lief my kwaad wees, sis. Ek is kwaad genoeg vir myself.
Hey fam, het julle verlang?
Jy moes gebel het.
En die verrassing spoil, no way.
Welkom in die familie.
Onthou jy my nog?
Hoekom het jy my nooit daarvan vertel nie?
Dis iets wat ek liewer wou vergeet. Gaan dit goed, mevrou Welman?
Ek wil nie elke dag herinner word aan wat destyds gebeur het nie.
Onthou maar die Welmans.
Ja.
Hulle is
And
terug.
we're back with David Rees, and now we're joined by the cast of his brand new family, Deirdre Volhunter, Andre Lotter, Karina Nell, and Kristen Rath. Welcome to the loft, guys.
Thank you.
Now, I mean, that looks very intriguing. Looks like there's going to be a lot of drama. But first, introduce us and tell us a little bit about your characters. We'll start with Ma.
All right, Ma. Well, Marianne is, I'd say she's an executive domestic goddess. And she's fiercely protective of her family and in protecting her family's interests. And there is a lot that needs to be protected, and there's a lot of damage control that needs to be done. And as you gathered from what we just saw, the Welmans, as David also mentioned earlier, they'd lived in Hillside about a good 20 years ago. Something happened, and they left.
Okay.
So already there are a lot of skeletons. Now they're back, and the people who knew them at the time are not happy that they're back.
Okay.
So there's a lot of intrigue.
Okay, so Hillside's going upside down.
Yes.
Okay, the troubled teenage son.
Yeah, he's not a teenager anymore.
Okay.
He's a 28-year-old. He is a pro tennis player. He's Rikus Welman, the oldest brother, or the oldest sibling. He studied BCom accounting just to please his father. That's all he did. But his heart lies in tennis, and he's a professional tennis player. But he plays in the States, in the United States. But he comes back to Hillside because of whatever reason, which I can't divulge now. And his family is happy to see him, but he's got a secret. And then the secret's revealed, and him and his father bump heads like you can't believe.
I've got to know the secret.
No secret. Nothing here. That's Rikus.
Tell us about your
I am playing the role of Alexa Welman. She is 26 years old and she's a medical doctor. So she's the middle daughter and definitely the more responsible one between these two crazies. So she keeps the siblings intact and yeah, she's very responsible and loving, caring, and these two are just like the total opposite of her.
And then there's the Baba.
Yes, the baby. I play the role of Amore. She's 22 years old and studying at culinary chef school in Cape Town, but back home for a vacation, but you know, we all have our secrets. So I reveal it to my brother first, to Rikus, and then the rest of the family kind of discovers it.
But I mean, they really seem like serious overachievers. They're all doing well. So there obviously couldn't have been too much wrong in the foundation phase. This is the kind of family that I want to spend Christmas with. I've got to ask, that hair is amazing. How much hairspray went into that do? It looked phenomenal.
A lot. The art department at 7de Laan, they're absolutely incredible. So the makeup and hair department, they're fantastic. You walk in there and they see what you look like in the morning, and then they just you look at yourself in the mirror and say, that's not me. They're fantastic. Yeah.
No, we've got it here as well. This didn't wake up like this. Okay, so what's it like all working together on set? Did you know each other before you started working together, or did you just have to kind of bond and connect like day one on set?
There was an audition process. And obviously some hearts get broken and others don't. So it was just suddenly you realise that we're the ones that made it, and you sort of immediately bond. And
in the audition process as well, we worked together. So they were checking to see how they worked on different combinations. And we just kind of connected as actors and as people. And we also kind of started at the same time, because the five of us started together. We have on set as well. We've bonded. So we have among ourselves in a way that we already have those dynamics of a family.
Yes. I've known her a while.
Yes.
Since university, we studied together. Yeah. We actually did our first production together, and she doesn't remember.
I remember the production.
She probably doesn't want to.
Memorable. So he gave a memorable performance then for your first production. No, that's very exciting. Okay, are there any kind of plot situations that you can reveal? Anything exciting that happens?
Well, there's a lot
other
of
than
exciting
the
that happens that we can't tell you.
Do we find out the secret when you guys are first introduced?
Very
quickly.
Yeah.
There are a number of secrets.
Yes.
So it's not just one.
There's thousands of secrets, I think.
Well,
So
I think
that is
every
like-
character has like his little secret, and it
and then there's
grows into a
one.
bigger one and a bigger and bigger. So yeah.
Okay. Now I kind of know a little bit about 7de Laan because we've always got the cast here. Who are the people that you connected to?
Well, my character, Ingrid, who plays Vanessa,
Yeah.
she was my babysitter when I was small and when we lived in Hillside. So me and her have a very strong connection because I loved her.
Oh, great. Okay, that's good.
Yes, so that's the one character
we also
Yeah,
know
well,
her because
yeah, because
she was our babysitter.
Well, the whole family pretty much knew the community in Hillside. So they do remember all of us.
Yeah. Now, when you start on a soap opera like this, how much of the backstories do you have to know? Like, did you watch the show before you joined?
No.
Yes.
I specifically went out of my way not to. And, you know, but I suppose everyone is different. And I think because Chris is so, you know, into what he does and doesn't see everything else, it's almost nice sort of, you know, being surprised yourself.
Yeah,
you know,
I come to
keeping a
work
bit-
every day and I'm surprised. Guys, thank you so much for chatting to us. We're going to see you a little bit later and we're going to be feeding you. So make sure you catch the debut appearance of the Welmans family on 7de Laan at 6:30 p.m. next Monday, the 6th of June on SABC2. I can't wait because I have to find out what these secrets are or I'm going to bribe them during the commercial break. Now, a few weeks ago, we had parenting expert Sister Lilian in our loft, and because we love her so much, she has such an amazing wealth of knowledge and information to share on mothering. So we've invited her back, and Bonnie is in our garden with Sister Lilian.
Welcome to our Fresh Pack Natural Goodness series, especially produced for moms and kids. We know moms need assurance that they're making the right choices for themselves and their babies or toddlers. And with Fresh Pack's junior and baby range of rooibos teas, you'll know you're choosing the healthiest option. So make sure to tune in every week for an update on how to keep your family happy, healthy, and enjoying life to the full. Today, we're continuing our discussion with Sister Lilian, and we're talking about healthy tips for moms with a new baby. Welcome back.
Thank you.
So I'm going to pour us some tea before we begin. It's lovely, refreshing iced tea.
Thank you.
Perfect. Right, so having a new baby can be quite life-changing and beautiful in many ways, but also quite daunting. How can new moms cope?
Yes, because you know you've never been there before. How do you prepare for something like that? Don't try and be super mum. Take it easy. Take it not only day by day, but moment by moment, and observe your baby. Observe all the little intricacies that make your baby special, because that's going to help you know your baby, feel more confident, and accept help. All the help and all the favors you need to call in, but use them for the practical things. Mealtime, helping you around the home, running errands, and you and your baby get to know each other.
And what are the biggest challenges that new moms often face?
Well, I suppose exhaustion is one of the biggest ones. But you know what? If you take practical help where you can, get your little naps in. When your baby naps, you nap. Anything, almost anything in the practical realm can wait for tomorrow when you've got a small baby. And to cope with exhaustion, not only do you need to nap and have your sleep when you can get it, you need to eat well, healthily. And I'm talking lots of fruit and vegetables.
Yes,
good things. And then be well hydrated. You know, mums are so busy making milk and thinking about what their babies must drink, they sometimes forget about what they should drink. And it should always be healthy. And I want to tell you, I love rooibos. I'm often called one of the rooibos ladies of South Africa. And the reason that it really works is it's got a bit of a calming influence, and at the same time, it's meant for people in South Africa. Plants that grow in a region do best for the people
For
who
the people
live.
of that region, of course. That makes so much sense. So how important is it to establish baby in a good routine?
You know, routine's a bit like a swear word for me.
Really?
However, rhythms and patterns, which are very closely linked, are
Yes.
good. The thing to recognize is babies are individuals just like we are. And what works for one doesn't work for the other. By all means, build a routine, but it should be based on those first days and weeks of observation. If you see your baby is somebody who needs to have little bits to eat or drink often, do that, because that's their nature. Some of us are like that. Some need small meals often, some eat just their 3 meals, and others have 2 meals. Some are breakfast people, some aren't breakfast people. So find your baby's natural rhythm, and if you build a routine around that, you'll have a happy home.
Right, so it's more about learning what baby's natural rhythm is rather than trying to force them into a routine that's recommended by somebody else.
Yes, absolutely, unless it's a flexible.
With so much focus going to the new baby in the home, how can moms make sure that their needs are being met too?
That's a very important question, and also very important to look at it, because a mom is the heart of the home, and if she's not doing well, nobody's
No one
doing
is.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think the main thing is if she feels anxious, unsupported, and exhausted. So those are the things that we've got to look at. Anxiety, well, Mum, just remember you were made for this, because it will help you deal with that anxiety. The exhaustion we've already spoken about, you know, make sure you eat well, drink well, and that you accept help for practical matters especially. And then if you really feel you aren't doing well, maybe you need to call in some professional help, because it could be more than those early blues.
You're right,
you
you're
know?
right. And how can new moms stay healthy?
Well, they must do 3 core things. They must eat healthily, they must sleep enough, nap when baby naps, and of course, they must be well hydrated, especially if they're breastfeeding, because they've got to make a lot of fluid, breast milk, so they need to be hydrated, but healthily hydrated. They want to be calm, so they don't want something with caffeine in, which is a stimulant. And you know, rooibos is naturally caffeine-free, and it's got the antioxidants that also contribute to a healthy nutritional package. And of course, when you're breastfeeding a baby, moms often get really, really hot.
Yes.
And the nice thing about rooibos, it tastes really good, cold as well as hot. So, you know, it has all that natural goodness without anything bad in it. It helps support early life with a baby. It's a wonderful thing. You can do actually a lot of other little health tricks with it, but it will, with that antioxidant, really keep mums as healthy as you possibly want to be.
Great. And so, with everything said, how can moms enjoy their babies more?
Well, I think the central thing is touch your baby. Touch is the language of love. It also makes you familiar with your baby, and it gets your baby bonding with you. And so, as soon as you've built that, you in fact do start enjoying it. One of my favorite tips is get into the bath and bath with your baby. You can even feed your baby there. And if you've got a drink of your favorite rooibos right there at hand, you know, you're going to be hydrated. The warm water, we women know, that calms you always. And your baby will feed better, and afterwards probably nap better, at which stage you can nap as well.
Thank you so much, Sister Lilian. You always have the best insight. Well, there you have it, moms. Enjoy your babies, get as much sleep as you can, and ensure that you stay hydrated with the natural goodness of Fresh Pack Rooibos. If you have young children, don't forget that Fresh Pack Junior and Baby range is specially produced for young children. This natural product contains no caffeine, no preservatives, but it is loaded with good things like antioxidants and minerals, so it's healthier and tastier than getting them to drink plain water. So until next week, keep your family happy, healthy, and enjoying life with the natural goodness of Fresh Pack.
It's It's time, ladies and gentlemen, for Winner Home right here on Afternoon Express. This is the show where we are giving away an apartment at the prestigious Valdevie Estate in the Cape Winelands worth more than 3 million rand. And today, we continue the inspiration for our design contestants and you at home. Now, with cities being so highly populated, living spaces are getting smaller and smaller. Urban living has become the norm in the modern world, and we have to make do with less and less square meters. This forces us to think out of the box and to create beautiful, functional spaces in small spaces. On this season of Winner Home, our design contestants are working with just a space like we spoke about earlier. Here to guide us through this process is interior designer Keelin Pincus. Welcome to our loft.
Thank you.
You've got such a vibrant personality. I'm looking forward to unpacking all of these details with you.
Oh, I'm glad. Thank you.
It's such a hard one to get through because when I initially was trying to look for property and when I initially moved into my apartment, it isn't a massive apartment. And I think the struggles that come with that is it's demotivating. You almost feel like, oh, I'll wait till I have a bigger house to invest money and time into decorating.
Absolutely, this is the challenge. Often people find it very intimidating when they've got a small space. And the challenge with this is saying, I need to make my small space as functional as possible. Okay. So I think that the importance here is marrying design and functionality. Oh. And so one can be really creative and really smart with the way one, utilizes one's space. In duplexes before, we have used, in small apartment duplexes, we've used underneath the staircase as a wine rack cellar, as a little bar, maybe put in a small office desk, So one can really be quite clever.
Creative.
Yeah, very creative in the way in which one uses one's space.
I like that you say that it's a clever thing that you've got to think quite innovatively about, because when I first stepped into that apartment, I had no idea even where to begin. Do I start investing loads of money, because it's expensive, loads of money in furniture? Do I paint the walls? Do I buy a table? Where do we begin and what can we do to make small spaces look bigger?
Well, first and foremost, I think the biggest problem that people have is when they go into the store, they see things that they love, and what they don't realize is that item may not fit into their space.
True, yeah.
So the best advice that I could give someone is go to the store, see which pieces of furniture that you really love, and then what you do is you get the dimensions of that item, come home into your space and actually take masking tape and create a blueprint of that dimension amongst your thing. That way you will know if your coffee table doesn't fit, if you've bought a couch that's going to be too big, and then one can also, be quite creative, in the photo. Sorry, there was
just
one there. Before that one, we use ghost chairs are really quite useful when decorating small spaces. It really creates
you can see through them. They don't feel like
Absolutely.
they take up space.
Just be smart, and then you marry that with a solid wooden table, and then one creates warmth. Opposed to a feeling of emptiness.
Great idea. That's a great suggestion. And what about wall colours? Because colour can make a space look incredibly small or incredibly big. What are some of the colours that we can use that make a space look bigger?
Well, we never ever as a designer say stay away from any colour specifically. We all like colour. I really love colour. Mm-hmm. But I think when it comes to your major walls, your big walls, I would say tend to go for a white wall. White creates a feeling of space, brightness, airiness, and then rather to use your accent walls in colour, if one would like, and then rather to keep your palette of your furniture quite neutral, and then to accessorise with colourful cushions, use vases that are colourful. One can be quite creative with colour in other ways.
So this is a way that we can, I think, enjoy our small spaces as a whole. But one of the mandates for our contestants for this season is to make sure that that house also becomes sellable. And a lot of the times when I was looking to buy property, when you go into property websites like privateproperty.co.za, you always find that sometimes people don't clean up rooms and it's quite messy. And is there a way that we can design a small space to make it more attractive so when people do come and to attract investment and buyers, that we can make it more attractive?
Well, this is one of the things that, being a private property browser myself, that, I also struggle with. Okay, why?
So I'm not alone.
No,
Yay.
Why do people, first and foremost, clean up your space, remove the clutter, okay? No one wants to look at anyone else's mess, okay? Then what you do is, always accessorize your areas. If you're showing a bedroom, put a blanket on the bed, scatter cushions, make the place look warm and inviting, like it's livable, but without being messy. Create greenery in the room. A vase with some flowers goes a very long way. And then, just get rid of the mess and make the home look stylish and magazine ready.
Awesome. So I think everyone's getting excited about that because there's lots of tidbits of information that you've shared now. But I also want to understand the work that you've done in small spaces, because maybe people can relate to the work that that you've done? Because you are an expert. I mean, people always think that, oh, these guys always say it, but they've never done it themselves. You have done it. Talk us through some of the apartments you've done.
Well, one of my favourite, most recent apartment is a block apartment, which is a big developer, and we did a show apartment for them, and because it needed to be ready for a magazine within a week, we obviously had to buy furniture off showroom floors, and this was obviously very challenging but very exciting. It actually gave a really good insight into the furniture that is available in Cape Town in South Africa, and one really had to, we had to work really quickly, and so that was very exciting, a lot of fun.
Are these some of the images that we've got now?
So exactly.
So talk us through this. What have you done here to make the space look bigger?
So, for example, the kitchen was a palette that we already had. I mean, it was all white, and we've just accessorized with a little bit of colour.
Nice.
If in the photo previously there we go, you can see it, of the dining room table and the chairs, it was quite a limited space to get in lounge and dining room. So what we ended up doing was having a dining room table where we used benches and then ghost chairs as your head chairs to create also a feeling of space.
Illusion of space.
The palette of that apartment was grey and white, and so we complemented that with creams and warmer tones of creams and beiges and browns, and then we brought in the steel for a modern edge. And then as we were saying about the colour, never stay away from colour. We used a cement table, quite industrial looking, and then popped it with bright yellow chairs.
Well, especially for the outside, to keep it nice and fresh and outside, that you feel like you're in a fresh space. And the bedroom space is what they're working on now. They're working on a guest bedroom. And one of the mandates that these contestants had for building on Val de Vies estate was to make sure that they keep the place looking bigger than what it actually is. And I know that they're all craving advice at the moment. They're consulting, and that guest bedroom has been a challenge for them. What advice do you have for our contestants who are trying to make these guest bedrooms on the Val de Vies estate look so beautiful?
I think with a guest bedroom, one really doesn't want to clutter a bedroom at all. So I would say keep your linen nice and white and fresh. Have a headboard that's built into the space. Side tables, when one's got limited side table space, one can use pendants from the ceiling instead,
good idea.
so that you free up your sides next to your bed. One can be really quite inventive with the way one uses their bedroom space.
Sure, this is great advice. I'm even taking a little bit of notes. I hope our contestants are too. Keelan, thanks for joining us in the loft.
Nice to be with you, thank you.
It's so cool to get this kind of advice. This is my favourite thing about having winner home right here on Afternoon Express. Now, living in small space doesn't mean it can't be designer chic and also decorated beautifully. So get some inspiration and do let those smaller spaces keep you back. Well, particularly don't let them keep you back, but instead let them inspire you. So this is Winner Home right here on Afternoon Express, where our 3 young, talented design contestants gradually transform 3 properties at Val de Vies estate using finishes provided by Caesarstone and Plascon. Judging their work is the renowned team from Arc Interiors, as well as Anne Result from Plascon and Simon Bray from Private Property. But most importantly, we are giving away one of the completed apartments worth more than 3 million rand to one lucky viewer in our grand prize competition. Yes, we're giving it away, and it's worth more than 3 million rand, and entering cannot be any easier. All you have to do is visit privateproperty.co.za now for all of those details. Winner Home is proudly brought to you by Private Property in association with Nedbank. Now, after the break, things are getting cheesy, as they always do with me in the kitchen, as we're putting our finishing touches on our 4-cheese pasta. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Afternoon Express. We're definitely celebrating happiness right here in the kitchen, because anything makes me happy, but particularly things that have cheese and pasta. It's such a warming dish to make. And we're making a 4 cheeses on the show today, but in real Italian, you say it like a...
Quattro formaggi, or bene quattro formaggi.
See, we've got Mbali joining us in the loft today, and she's making us this delicious dish. We just need to put the final touches on.
Yes, that's all you need to do.
Cool, so tell me what I can do.
Okay, so you mind putting the pan on?
Sure, that I can do for you.
Okay, so we're just going to fry up some bacon. Just a few...
rashers.
Yes.
And no one can ever say no to a bit of bacon.
You're going to make it extra crispy.
Cool. And the way to make it extra crispy, tips please?
Well, the best way for me is to grill it in the oven. You get a nice even colouring and it crisps up beautifully.
But we're doing it in the pan to show you another version. So in case you are maybe struggling with your oven at home or it doesn't work as well as you would have liked it to, this is another way that you can do it here. I'm going to let those sit because I know you've done the ones in the oven, right?
Okay.
And that's what it should come looking like. I'm glad she's a klutz in the kitchen, because then she's my type of chef. We can make mess together. Oh, girl.
Okay.
Cool. So you've baked those in the oven, which is giving that nice crisp.
So then we cut them into bite-sized pieces. They're extra crispy. Actually, let's just break it with our hands because it's easier that way.
Nice idea.
There we go.
That looks so yummy. And basically, we're just going to drizzle those on top of, drip them on top of this pasta dish.
That's all we do.
It's all been baked in the oven. Oh, yummy, that looks delish.
Makes it extra crispy. There we go.
Fantastic. And just like that, voila, I guess you can put a little bit of cheese on top of that, and this dish is made. Guys, this was probably the most simple dish I've ever made on Afternoon Express. It is filled with flavor, it is easy to make, and it will impress anyone that you have coming over to your house. So if you want to make this dish, afternoonexpress.co.za is where you can find the recipe and the shopping list, and voila, this could be your dinner this evening. It'll literally, if you just go to the shops right now and buy the 4 cheeses and put them in your thing, it'll be done by the time dinner's ready. Thank you, Mbali. It's been such an honor cooking with you.
Thank you for
I'm going to go
having
take this
me.
to our guests.
Sure.
Alrighty. This looks so amazing. If it got cheese in it, I'm always a very, very happy person. Jeannie's been salivating and...
I can't deal with how good this pasta is right now.
Welcome. Yeah, that's good. There's a lot of people to feed. I don't know if that's going to go around. It's going to be one of those TV bites, people. TV bites. Okay?
No, it's not going to be.
I see she takes on a roll immediately. Mom starts dishing up food. Okay, fine.
Thanks, Mum. You can dish for all.
Shall I dish?
Yes, why not? Go for it. I'm never going to say no. I do it all the time on the show, so you might as well.
There we
I'm going
go.
to sit back and enjoy this.
This looks so yum.
It is,
Are you a
guys.
cook, Deirdre?
No. No. We'll invite you for dinner at the Welman house, but I'll get catering.
Okay.
Do you guys get served delicious food on set, or is this...
yeah,
is
we
it...
do. We get fed very well.
Yes, I've been on 7de Laan before I played
You
myself.
get fed very
Yeah.
well.
I'm going to say it doesn't show, but okay, fine. We'll believe you.
Now, make sure you join us again tomorrow for Afternoon Express and get here early because during the first 15 minutes of the show, we're chatting to actress Mbali, and in the kitchen, guest chef Alice Teutsch is making us a decadent, no-bake, dark chocolate tart.
It should be so delicious. Guys, please taste it. Tell us
What do you think
think.
about it? Danilo's cooking's not always amazing, but I think this is going to be great.
Guys, Mbali, this dish was the most simple dish I've ever made in my life before. So, honestly, it's a taster. What do you think?
It's good.
It's good.
It's good, good, good. It's good. It's nice.
We'll catch you again tomorrow. Until then, good night and happy eating.
Bye.
Bye. And don't miss 7de Laan.
Yeah.
Coming up tomorrow on Afternoon Express, Mbali joins us in the loft. We chat to former Miss SA turned businesswoman Joanne Strauss. And for Winner Home on Afternoon Express, we chat to the marketing director of Valdevi, Ryk Neetling.
The hottest address on TV is Winner Home on Afternoon Express. Proudly brought to you by Private Property in association with Nedbank.
Another feel-good production.
Hi YouTubers, thank you so much for watching. Your support means the world to us. Join the Afternoon Express family by subscribing to our channel right here. And we'll keep you up to date with all our recipes and of course our fabulous episodes. Also, feel free to leave a comment and share this video. We do love it when you express yourself.